There's a city in South America where you can buy a flat-screen TV, a counterfeit Rolex, and a parrot, all from the same guy, on the same street. And nobody asks any questions. Ciudad del Este, Paraguay, the second largest free trade zone on the planet right after Hong Kong. Up to $18 billion flows through this city every year, most of it off the books. To put that in perspective, the shadow economy here is worth more than half of Paraguay's entire national GDP. Some estimates place the illicit trade between $5 billion and $18 billion annually. It sits on the triple border, the exact point where Paraguay, Brazil, and Argentina meet, separated only by 2 rivers. 3 countries, 3 legal systems, and a labyrinth of porous borders that customs agents can barely begin to control. The city was founded in 1957 by military dictator Alfredo Stroessner. From day one, smuggling wasn't just tolerated, it was the business model. Stroessner's regime built a state where corruption was the foundation of the economy, and Ciudad del Este was its crown jewel. Then, in 1984, the Itaipu Dam was completed, one of the largest power plants on Earth. It flooded the region with money, workers, and infrastructure. The dam transformed a jungle outpost into a roaring commercial metropolis, generating 75% of Paraguay's electricity and billions in revenue. Today, the engine of it all is the friendship bridge connecting Paraguay to Brazil. Every day, thousands of people cross it on foot, on motorcycles, and trucks. They're called sacoleiros, bag carriers. Small-time Brazilian traders who cross into Paraguay to buy cheap goods, stuff them into enormous bags, and smuggle them back. Only about 10% of luggage ever gets inspected. Smugglers cross multiple times a day, blending into the sheer volume of human traffic. Downtown Ciudad del Este is a labyrinth of thousands of stalls selling counterfeit Apple products, fake Rolexes, and pirated software, right next to the real stuff. Step inside the malls and the scale hits you. Floor after floor of electronics, every major brand logo plastered on a tower of advertisements. But counterfeits are just the appetizer. Paraguay produces up to 70 billion cigarettes a year, far more than its people could ever smoke. The surplus gets smuggled across borders by the truckload. Up to 30 billion Paraguayan cigarettes enter Brazil illegally every single year, capturing 30% of the entire Brazilian tobacco market. Then there are the weapons. Over 30,000 firearms a year funnel through this region, arming Brazil's most dangerous gangs, the PCC and the Red Command. AK-47s, military-grade automatic weapons, smuggled inside water heaters, hidden in truck compartments, shipped straight to the favelas of Rio and São Paulo. Cars stolen in Argentina and Brazil are driven across the border, chopped for parts, given forged documents, or traded for drugs and guns. And in the same market selling fake phones, you can buy exotic parrots, macaws, and endangered species, crammed into boxes with holes punched for air. Brazilian highway police regularly intercept crates of baby parrots, many too young to survive the journey. Counterfeit goods worth billions, 30 billion smuggled cigarettes, over 30,000 trafficked firearms, and an unknown volume of endangered wildlife, all flowing through one city. Now, here's where it gets truly dark. Since the 1980s, Hezbollah has used Ciudad del Este as a personal cash machine, running extortion rackets, drug trafficking, and massive money laundering schemes. A man named Assad Ahmad Barakat ran the operation from a shopping gallery in downtown Ciudad del Este, counterfeiting U.S. dollars, forging documents, extorting the Lebanese community. The U.S. Treasury estimated his network funneled between $15 million and $150 million a year directly to Hezbollah. The money laundering works like this. Drug cash gets smuggled across the border in armored trucks, deposited into exchange houses, wired to offshore accounts, then used to buy goods from Asia that get sold in the free trade zone, completing the cycle. Intelligence agencies traced the funding for the 1994 AMIA bombing in Buenos Aires, which killed 85 people, back to this exact region. 85 innocent lives ended by a bomb. The money that paid for it moved through the same streets where tourists haggle over knockoff sneakers. A father remembers his daughter. The faces held up in silence are the true cost of an economy with no receipts. Hollywood even came calling. The 2006 film Miami Vice filmed in Ciudad del Este using the real city as its backdrop for global crime. But director Michael Mann couldn't even finish his shoot. The security situation was so dangerous that the crew had to leave early and rewrite the ending. When even Hollywood decides a place is too dangerous to film, you know you're dealing with something real. Ciudad del Este isn't on any tourist bucket list, but if you want to understand how the real global economy works, the one without receipts, it's the most important city you've never heard of. Subscribe for more.